I have been a huge fan of the Nintendo Switch since it came out. In fact, this over here is my launch day Nintendo Switch that I have so many gameplay hours on. I've modded it with, a custom case and everything. It looks great. It plays great, at least dock mode. I don't love the display on this as much as I used to. But as such, there are still people that are now still just getting into the world of the Nintendo Switch, the Switch OLED, and even the Switch Lite. As such, a lot of people are looking like, what do I need to get up and running with the Nintendo Switch? So we wanted to run you through 5 of our favorite upgrades or add-ons for the Nintendo Switch, with one bonus one too. First and foremost, regardless of what version of the Switch that you go with, the onboard storage is kind of anemic. It's really pathetic how little onboard storage both the original Switch, the Switch OLED, and even the Switch Lite has to it. One of the cool things is it actually can accept standard micro SD cards right here. And this is our little bonus one for you here, that, pick up a decent size micro SD card. At least 256 gigs. I've got a 400 gig in this one. I've got a 256 in this one. The one that's playing behind me, I want to say I've got a 512 in. It's one of those things, even though the games come on cartridges, you still need some type of onboard storage, because a lot of times the whole game ain't on that cartridge. So as such, you're going to want to pick something up so you can go ahead, download games from the Switch eShop, download the content from the cartridges, and more. Now, above and beyond that, my first, or number 5, suggestion that I would have for you is sign up for the Nintendo Switch online service. And the cool thing about that is it gives you access to NES and Super NES games that you can play right through the service. In addition, they do also have the expansion pack, which will also get you access to N64 games. It'll get you access to Sega Genesis games, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, plus you also get full access to all of the expanded racetracks available for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's included as a perk of the service. There's also additional content you can get through Animal Crossing too, and some of the other games as well. For a family plan, you're looking about $90. Not exactly cheap, and that gets you everything. That's the expansion pass. That is, up to, I believe it's 6 different consoles, so it will get you covered there. Now, that's actually what I have for me and my family, and, it's myself, my wife, my youngest daughter, my oldest daughter's boyfriend. So, we've got, 7 different consoles between all of us kind of covered there. Something I highly recommend. Now, if you just need one, I believe the expansion pass is only about $50, so definitely a good deal, a lot less expensive than what you would pay for PlayStation or for Xbox. Number 4, if you are looking to play connected to a television, I cannot recommend any more highly picking up the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. Now, this one has a custom case on it. I can show you how to do that up in that video right there in the upper corner. But this is so much more comfortable than using the Joy-Con grip. It gives you a proper D-pad. The ergonomics are so much better. Better battery life. This is overall just a better experience for you. Now, this is the official Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. There's a number of other ones out there that are really, really good. I've been using the NS32 from Nexigo, and it has Hall effect sensors, different colors, LEDs and whatnot on there. Absolutely love that controller. We're going to talk about another item a little bit later on that you will definitely want to go ahead and kind of stick towards this, but there are other options out there. Your hands will thank you for going with something like this. And if you do have something like this, the next recommendation is you're going to need some kind of storage and display, not only for your games, but for the controller. And, a little bit of self-promotion here. I do sell these stands on my 3D printer store, and the nice thing about it is it even has a little hook on back so you can route your USB-C cable up through here, plug it into the top of the controller to go ahead and charge it. Now, above and beyond the stand for the Pro Controller, I also offer a 3D print one for the games too, and this one will hold up to 10 different games. In the cases, don't throw away your cases, people. These are a beautiful way for you to go ahead and store and display your games, and so is this too. So it's one of those that, it keeps everything neat and organized. It's not just sitting on a shelf with crap sitting all over the place. It helps you keep everything a whole lot neater and a whole lot more organized. Now, in addition to that, again, if you are going to play on a television, what you may want to pick up is an additional dock. This is number 3. That was 4. This is 3. And there's a couple of them that I recommend. One of them that I really like is this one here from Unitech. And what I like about this, first of all, it's smaller and much more compact than the standard Nintendo Switch dock. The cool thing about this one, you see this little pigtail, you might be wondering what this is for. If you take a look on the back here, you can actually put 4 different cartridges in here, and this has remote control that you run this into your system, and as you hit the button on the remote, you can swap between any of those 4 games. Very, very cool. This is compatible with the Switch and the Switch OLED. Will not work with the Switch Lite. There's nothing that will allow you to hook a Switch Lite to a television. Nintendo disabled that at a system and hardware level. Thanks, Nintendo! But the cool thing that this gets you as well, if you do have an original Switch, is this does have an Ethernet port on it. So if you are looking for something that has a hardwired connection to it, this will provide that for you. 3 USB-A type connectors, and then your HDMI output. Now, something with this, and with any Switch dock, do not use a third-party power supply. Stick with the OEM Nintendo power supply, and you'll be pretty much set. That's one of the beautiful things about that, is the fact that it works with this, it's compatible with it. During the early days of the Nintendo Switch, there were issues with some systems becoming damaged or bricking due to using out-of-spec power supplies from third-party manufacturers. Again, stick with the Nintendo one, you'll be okay in most cases. Now, if you do want to stick with the OEM Nintendo Switch dock, it works. I mean, it's the original equipment. Unitech has something similar to that for the original Switch dock, and that's this here. And there's 3 different versions actually. One will swap between 4 games and then store 4 more. There's also one that'll do that same thing but has a remote control. And then finally, there's the one that I have upstairs in my living room. It has all 8 of these slots I can swap between. So convenient, especially for me. I keep my games down here. We play a lot of games upstairs in my living room. I'm old, I'm fat, I don't want to run up and downstairs a whole lot. So something like this allows me to keep my game cases here, keep the games up there, and they're not strewn all over the place. They're locked into the switcher here. Absolutely brilliant overall setup and design. Number 2, if you are a handheld user, this is from our good friend Todd over at RetroFrog. And what this allows you to do, this is called the Rotate. And what this allows you to do is you take your Switch, and we're going to pop it in like so. Gives you a really nice tabletop dock, right? Well, what you can also do is you can rotate it this way for games that can display in tabletop mode in this format. Donkey Kong, is the original one, is a perfect example that you can play in what's called Tate mode. And this gives you a really nice way to go ahead and play in tabletop mode. It's nice and sturdy. It's not going to get knocked over. Absolutely love this. Todd is a great member of the community. Make sure you check out his website. I'll have that link for you down below. But this is a really nice way, especially if you like playing in tabletop mode, in the Tate mode. This is a great way to do it. And number 1 has to be, for me at least, I love playing the Switch in dock mode. It's my favorite way to play it. But there are times where I am going to be traveling, and I do want to play my Switch in handheld mode. Now, to play in handheld mode, you got to use these crappy things. And I hate the Joy-Cons. I just do. I think they are way too small. This one doesn't have a proper D-pad on it. They're prone to Joy-Con drift. There's a lot of things to not like about these. Well, Austin and the team over at Fixture Gaming have come out with these guys here. There's 2 different versions. The Fixture Gaming S1, and that's something that fits the original Nintendo Switch, and the S2, this fits the Switch OLED, and more recently, he's come out with the M1, which will be compatible with tablets and mobile devices. It'll also work with the Switch Lite. And the beautiful thing about this is this bottom part here is molded. Watch this. This thing is too cool. It is molded in such a way that you can use your Nintendo Switch Pro controller in handheld mode. This is slicker than snot, and my preferred way to play the Switch in handheld mode. Now, the difference between the S1 and the S2 is simply the width of this part here. The S1, a little bit narrower to accommodate the narrower width of the original Nintendo Switch. The S2, designed for the Switch OLED. And then to go ahead and get this in here, all that you do, you get everything lined up here. It just slides right into the Switch rails, like so. And now I can play mobily in handheld mode using the best controller out there as far as, compared to the Joy-Cons. This is so much better. The other thing, kind of like the rotate, is you can actually pop this off of the Pro controller, and I don't want to drop it. And this is a nice level platform, so you can go ahead and play in tabletop mode as well. So just another way that the S1 and S2, super versatile, provide you with so many different options out there. Definitely something I highly recommend. I mean, this, if you follow me on Twitter at all, at Rock Solid Studios, every time they post something, this is the definitive handheld gameplay for me for the Nintendo Switch and the Switch OLED, is the Fixture Gaming S1 and S2. I absolutely love these things, and they were actually kind enough at one point, they sent me a custom S2. You can actually order these through Austin and their website at Fixture Gaming. I'll have that link for you down below. If you're a fan of John Riggs, John has got his own as well. So much better than like the, I forget what that company with the Hawkwood or something like that. I joke, Wood Hawker, his Satisfy grips. Not my way to play. My wife actually really likes the Satisfy grips. But for me, this is the definitive way to play in handheld mode, is the Fixture Gaming S1 and S2. These are just some of the great accessories that are out there. Now, you figure 7 years since the original release of the Nintendo Switch. What's your favorite? Let me know down in the comments. What are some of your favorite accessories for the Nintendo Switch and the Switch Lite and the Switch OLED? What do you think of these recommendations? Have you tried them? For me, like a must-own has to be a micro SD card. The onboard storage on here sucks out of the box. So that is something I highly recommend. Let me know what you think of these choices down below in the comment section. Now, if you are looking for some of the other accessories that we've reviewed over the years for the Nintendo Switch, I'll have those linked for you right up there. Go ahead, check them out. I'm sure you're going to find something you'll love.